As promised, Donald Trump has indeed placed tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and some on to China as well. And now we have Canada and Mexico having responded, which will trigger more tariffs. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the FAA having their notification system to airplane pilots down. We have a new Belgium government now over in Belgium. It has also joined the rightward movement of European governments. Trump wins in Panama already. Everyone was mocking him about the whole Panama Canal thing, and apparently he got what he wanted. Just with a short visit from Marco Rubio down there in Panama. We got California polluting again, a major oil refinery burning out of control. We have a watchman reporting from the London Freedom Rally with their update on what happened there. Also, we have Anthem Insurance not paying providers what you need to know about that. Plus a bunch of other updates and reports from watchmen all over. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. That gets it to the right place. Before we dive in, we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people who have retirement accounts to get out of stocks and bonds and other risky things and into something safe, something you can hold in your hands. If you have an IRA or 401k or Canadian retirement account, you have limited options. But one of those options is that you can get physical metals. This might be a good move for you. If you want to talk to someone about that, Jonathan and his team would love to chat with you. There'll be a link at the end of the video. All right, first things first. Sorry I didn't get an afternoon video out yesterday. I literally kept trying to record and could not speak for more than 2 or 3 minutes without getting into a coughing fit. So you didn't get a video yesterday, but I am feeling much better after a good night's sleep. So let's start off here. Thank you for those of you praying for me, by the way, and all the tips and tricks. I tried some of them. Trump has indeed hit Canada and Mexico with tariffs. 25% tariffs on either side, as well as China, 10% on China. Canadian oil and energy coming across the border is taxed only at 10%. And that does go in effect tomorrow morning. Now, it kind of already is in effect in some ways because basically there's any ships or trucks or anything like that that left before February 1st, they are exempt. But if they left February 1st or later and they arrive at the border anytime after tomorrow morning, they will be taxed. Canada has already hit back with targeted tariffs on some products from the United States, including alcohol. Seems like they're trying to hit only red states and they're trying not to hit blue states. So they've only tariffed about $100 billion worth of trade from the United States per year, whereas the United States is tariffing about $400 billion worth of Canadian goods. Now, some people are saying $150 billion, but they're wrong because that's Canadian dollars, which are worth even less as of this morning than they were on Friday. Mexico is supposedly going to do something back, but we don't know what that is just yet. Mexico is saying they have a plan A, they have a plan B, they have a plan C, and they're going to implement. But they haven't told us what those plans are, so I'm not sure how much deterrence that really has when you're saying you have plans that nobody's been able to hear about. China has not issued any specific rebuttals just yet. And just for those of you out there who are going to take the line of tariffs are bad, they only hurt the country that implements them. Just leave this question with you. Why is Canada so upset at the United States if tariffs only hurt the country that implements them? And more so, why is Canada putting tariffs on United States goods if it only hurts them? Sometimes questions are good to be asked, right? The FAA NOTAM outage has occurred across the United States. It appears the system is back up and functioning, but all the while they had their backup system functioning. So the NOTAM system is basically like a messaging system, a text-based messaging system that alerts pilots and aircraft with updates and stuff like that. If you remember back to 9/11, when that was happening, there were a number of NOTAM updates that went out warning different pilots and everything like that. And wish people had paid more attention to that, and wish they had been more specific on the NOTAMs that they sent out. But anyway, that system was down, but the backup system was working, so no major disruptions as of yet. We've seen a lot of governments across Europe take a distinct rightward turn. I believe it's right on your screen if I go that way. It's left to me, but we've seen Germany with AfD. They're seriously considering electing a lot of AfD folks, which has a lot of people in Germany very, very upset. They're a distinct minority, but those people are upset. We got the UK taking a right-hand turn. Not towards anything crazy, but just like, hey, we should secure our borders, and hey, we should know who's in our country, and hey, we should actually start limiting spending and stop letting people steal tons and tons of money from the government. Well, Belgium has joined that. After 7 months of negotiations, they have a new parliament, and that parliament is going to be led by the New Flemish Alliance, which sounds like a fun party, but basically they're a right-leaning nationalist party. And the anti-leftist march goes on, even in Europe. Secretary of State Rubio arrived in Panama yesterday to negotiate the Panama Canal. And already, with Marco Rubio leaving, the Panama Canal, Panama has conceded on that. They have abandoned the Belt and Road program, which is China's ways of getting its claws into different countries and to try to get their infrastructure to be under their sway. They've abandoned that. So Panama is not going to be part of the Belt and Road program. And they're going to move to evict the Chinese companies that are operating port facilities near the canal. After pressure, whether carrot or whether stick or a combination thereof, I don't know. But whatever it was, it apparently was effective because Panama is now conceding on that. We've seen the Colombia victory. We've now seen the Panama victory. How soon until we get to claim Greenland for ourselves? I don't know. And when will Canada be joining the United States as a state? I don't know. The LMC says refinery fire in Martinez, California. 20-year resident eyewitnesses said they heard the explosion and lots of big fireballs. There's videos out there of the refinery fire there. Massive amounts of damage. No word yet on it being fully extinguished or the amount of the damage or how long till that refinery is back operational. Are we going to find out at the end of the day, too, that this was another leftist sabotage? I don't know. But these things do sure seem to be happening more frequently. Independent news media, Watchman update from London, the London Freedom Rally to free the political prisoners. Rally went off without a hitch. Chilly day, 5 degrees centigrade or 41 degrees Fahrenheit, so chilly. 150,000 in attendance. Remembering Tommy and others who were jailed for hurdy words. One man was arrested for spitting on police officers, which is always bad form. Lisa in Fargo, North Dakota says, I have been having a hard time finding whole wheat flour. Went to my local grocery stores and there were either empty shelves or no tags on the shelves at all. Went to Natural Grocers, a grocery store, had to ask for it. And the clerk said, we just got a shipment in. She said that they have been having issues getting it in for a long time, which is interesting since they grow so much wheat in North Dakota. Mayo says Anthem is backlogged 4 to 6 months on paying healthcare providers. Hubby called his doctor to schedule an appointment and was told by the front office he couldn't be seen until he paid $500. Apparently he owed money from the last year's visit, but since Anthem was behind, he wasn't charged or notified. Once Anthem sent in a bulk payment for those visits all at once, he was then off the hook for that money. He was obviously upset when the medical staff told him, and the woman he spoke to was a little rude until he offered to pay half so they could see his doctor. She was a lot nicer then and mentioned their payment options, which she should have said earlier in the call when he said he couldn't pay this unexpected bill all at once. He was able to schedule his appointment, but it left a bad taste in my mouth. What about those who need to see their doctor for life-saving medication or to prevent a mental health episode? So if you have Anthem out there, you might want to make sure that they are taking care of your providers. Make sure that that you're going to be able to see your doctor. Raising Warriors says, I talk to my sister every day. She lives in Ohio and is a nurse practitioner. She works in the GI department, gastrointestinal, right? A little over a year ago, they took the GI OR and floor from them to make them share the main OR with the hospital operating room. Now she complains daily how she has refused or overlooked time for her doctor to get operator room time. Excuse me. Patients have to wait over 24 hours sometimes for emergency surgeries. The doctor works 18 hours per day plus overnight calls. He is in a hospital network of 2 that the doctor must cover both hospitals in one day. Days are long. She went from complaining about 9 patients to 30 patients in a day. That's just for her hospital. Keep in mind the doctor goes between the 2. Good staff leaves because they are asked to do too much and can only do so much. The hospital nearly puts them up to fail. Day after day we talk about it and it doesn't make any sense as to why. Real Talk with Rebecca. Costco's in and around Auburn, Washington only have hard-boiled, peeled and unpeeled eggs again. Our local egg dealers have all upped their prices from $5 to $6 up to $7 and $8 a dozen. We, of course, don't mind paying the increased prices to local dealers, but it is hitting everyone hard. Want to know what's really going on at your store with the meat there? This may turn your stomach a little bit, so if you want to skip ahead, go ahead. But James says, when meat turns bad and turns green, gets spots on it, the meat cutter soaks the meat in bleach water to remove the green and the stink. They then soak the meat in beet juice. That's where the dark red color comes from. Don't buy meat if the fat inside of it looks pink. Regarding chicks for your laying hens, Bill says, update, I went to Jackson Bro Feed yesterday and talked to the lady in charge of buying chicks for the store. She said that the price of chicks has gone up considerably. I saw the list of chicks that are supposed to be coming in, and they are all of traditional egg layers, no fancy birds, no bantams, or just basically egg layers. I asked about the egg prices in Abilene, Texas. They said that they average about $6 a dozen for just eggs and run out frequently. JJ in Oklahoma says, our Sam's can't keep eggs in stock. Homeland store near me, eggs are 1 dozen, are now $13.99. That's Oklahoma. Amber says, cashier at Dollar General in Georgia was telling me their eggs are currently $6 a dozen, but within a week or two, they're going to be up at $8 a dozen. So that's news there too. We got prices continuing to rise, and that's what we're hearing from our stores and partners and people who work at stores out there. That's concerning. So please do keep stocking up on eggs, whether egg replacements, flax seeds, you can use bananas, you can use other things. Some people did toss out that flax seed does actually have a lot of estrogen in it, sort of like soy, but it's actually kind of worse than soy. So do consider that as well. You can use other substitutes. Just type into Google substitutes for eggs in baking. But when it comes to like making scrambled eggs or whatever for breakfast, you're going to need some kind of freeze-dried eggs probably, or eggs that you've frozen. So think through that and how you're going to handle that, because this is going to continue for the next 4 to 6 months at least. That's what the U.S. Department of Agriculture is telling us and everything else. Thank you so much for your reports. If you want to find out more about what you can do with a retirement account with Genesis Gold, there's a link right there. Just tap on the button, fill out your information, and they'll get in contact with you. If you want to check out another video for this channel, there's one right up there. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.